town, all I see is morning. I just need me a cup of coffee and damn I'm hungry. Let me slow down, take this exit, gotta hit the office. Gotta calculate some data, gotta make some offers. What's the volume, what's the price, and what's the latest move? Who is buying, who is selling, it's just purely business. Got my money making babies, just deliver triplets. Analyzing all these assets, I just pick and choose. Time is money, yeah you bugging, time is time. 24/7, no off time, I chase a quota. Every second of my day is truly by design. You can stack up all that jewelry, I'm about the ocean. I'm talking Teslas, big Benzes and Edge clashes, E-clashes and Bitcoin, I stay cashless. If I ain't got it, I will get it, I aim that way. If I ain't got it, I will get it, I aim that way. Used to sleep up on the floor, now I'm beach bumming. How they looking at me like I hit my peak or something. I met my demons and I fought them, now we sleeping something. They done took me out the dungeon, said a reaper coming. Think about it, write it down, then I execute it. If they talking 10 or less, I cannot go around them. Pick a go and get it done, I gotta execute them. If they talking 10 or less, I cannot go around them. If they talking 10 or less, I cannot go around them. If they talking 10 or less, I cannot go around them. If they talking 10 or less, I cannot go around them. If they talking 10 or less, I cannot go around them. I had to bring my girl around to see how they feeling. Everybody felt the test, what a feeling. Now I'm hearing that they bums and they hella broke. And I ain't talking about your money, I'm talking about your soul. Yeah, man. Good morning. It is 9:39 a.m. on Friday, August 28th, man. It's been one hell of a week, tell you that much. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. On Monday, I might have taken the L. You feel me? But at the end of the day, though, we had two, 3 good days, and then we had 2 or 3 good days. We had one break-even day yesterday. Well, no trade day yesterday. And today, you know what I'm saying? It's Friday. I ain't got no job. Nah, I'm playing. It's Friday though. And the market is doing what the market does. You feel me? We do not trade. I do not trade the first 15 minutes of the session. So right now in 5 minutes we'll be able to trade the market. I just want to see how the first 15 minutes of the market comes in. You know, we had a good drop down. We had hit the point of control from yesterday, and off the point of control we had hit the upside damn near immaculately for like 100 points. Can't really say nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? Can't really do nothing about that. Yesterday, you know, it was a good ranging market. Today, you know, an ugly market on a Friday. But, you know, it is what it is. In the next 4 minutes, we will have some type of opportunity. In the next 4 minutes, we'll see what type of opportunity there is for today. But, this live session, we are going to look at every single day and just look at the market. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday, it was, to say the least, you know, after New York Open, ugly in my opinion. You know, you have from 11:45 to like around 2:30. Well, you could have caught something, you know, but after New York Open, but it is good information to understand that we did have a workspace present itself. We did see some levels being respected, and that's good information nonetheless. Going into Wednesday, you know, we still are playing with that Fibonacci from Wednesday, so all the levels and stuff are on the chart from Wednesday, and they are all still valid. So all the buy ideas that we had throughout the week, they're all still valid because the buy model hasn't really given up yet. But on Wednesday, it was another little, you know, cool little market on Wednesday. We had opened to the downside. We had respected some levels immaculately. After New York, we had a good little market, and at the end of Wednesday, I had caught a good long position, you know, to the upside. Nothing too crazy. You know, Tuesday, we had caught a good short, which I should have held, but you know, it was a good short nonetheless. And then Monday, the most volatile day of the whole damn week. A beautiful short, but then I give that short back here. So Monday I break even trade for a small loss on the account. So it's been one eventful ass week. Monday was that day of the week where it was more volatile than any other day. Very, very clean price action on Monday. Now on Friday, today's Friday. I always tend to take Fridays slow. Here on the market though, you see that there's not really much going on. It's ugly. If you go to a 1 hour time frame, we here on the 1 hour time frame, and it's ugly. It's a very ugly market. Not much to really look at. It's not. Sometimes the market just don't be marketing like that. Yesterday, to take a look at yesterday, to go in depth on yesterday, we had this workspace, the black dot, green dot, you feel me? A gap in the market showing you momentum to the upside. We had London open up with a gap. But it left a gap after the first 15 minutes. An inventory zone that held up. Another gap right here showing you momentum to the upside. When the sellers came in out of this workspace or from the top of this workspace, we couldn't break no lows. And as you can see, we are trading to the upside. We are trading at those highs as of now, right? But there's no market in here. If we just look at this whoop wop, this whoop wop was kind of still valid, one thing that I missed on the 1 minute is this little whoop wop on the 1 minute. These are just areas where the sellers did overtake the buyers, and it's crazy because even when the buyers are coming in, they're not breaking no highs. So I really don't know how to, it's just a ranging market, so going over the week one more time, where is this market saying it wants to go? So you have to go to a higher time frame. And so today's Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So Friday, Thursday. So we playing with Wednesday's high right here. But realistically speaking, I mean, if you're looking at this down move on the 1 hour, this is your pause in the market, and then that's the continuation with this being the pullback. So if I just do, what they say for shits and giggles, you feel me? Take the Fibonacci from up here to down here to that low, and we just went above the 50% of this whole down move. So can we get into the golden range? That'd be some shit, huh? At least to the 618. And the 618, it lines up, with some highs in here. So the 618 could be a target at like around 29,800. It could be something for the upside, but as you can see throughout the week though, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, today's Friday. Monday was that day. Tuesday was in. You know what I'm saying? Wednesday, Thursday, trash. Today, damn near trash. So, the market is moving, but the price action ain't really all of that. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have to make the best of it. I'm looking at the 631 level, which we are above now. But the 631 level was a good significant level, from this day's price action that is kind of still holding. We have this range right here on the higher time frame, and we are going back up into that range, which is crazy. So seeing that we came out of this overall range, right? This is your range on the higher time frame, the 1 hour time frame. It was ranging all through here, came out of the range, went above the range, came back up into the range, and then came out of the range heavy. But we are going back into those prices, and I don't understand why. I don't understand why. You would think that when the market picks a direction that's going to keep on continuing, but the buyers did come in So can we make it to the 618? Can we make it to 29,900 to the top of the range, or is this gonna be like a damn quadruple top, a triple top, quadruple top right here, and us come down from these levels to come down into lower prices? So this week really, man, one hell of a week. August been one hell of a month, and there's only so much that you could do. So going into yesterday, looking at key levels, I'm looking at the point of control, right? The point of control has been immaculately, respected 2 times. So more so, can the buyers that are coming off of this point of control from yesterday, can they take out highs? Can they take out yesterday's high? We have some levels in here. Some inventory zones from yesterday are holding up, so that's good key information. It's insane, right? On the 15-minute, that we have a yellow level at the same level as a internal range inventory zone, right? So that's something to pay attention to. Like, do the buyers really own this area? This is your first 15 minutes of New York session, and a huge wick at the bottom. So are the buyers really in the market? Are the buyers really doing what they like? Are they really hit for this session? 5-minute chart. Yesterday we had created one main workspace, and I pulled up the Fibonacci based on that workspace. So that high right there, and this low right here. Alright, so this low and this high is your workspace. Black dot, green dot, a small inventory zone right here, which is insane that zone held. Inventory zone, that zone held. Inventory zone right here, that zone held, as you can see, which is crazy. That price range held. So these are just key levels. Are the buyers in control? So I think that's the main question right now. We had this other situation, right? Once we had this workspace with this levels inside it, whether they're being respected or not respected, you had New York open, which kind of just ranged out, right? But we have a clean black dot, green dot, little pullback, push up above some highs, and then a good pullback to not break a low, and then for it to come break a high. So I put this little internal workspace here. So here's the thing though, we have 2 quote-unquote workspaces, 2 attempts. You could even argue 3 attempts, right? With this black dot, green dot sequence, pausing, coming up, taking out highs, creating gaps and whatnot. That could be your 3rd workspace right here, bro. But this isn't good though. Like, let me repeat, this is not good, because once you create a workspace like such, you kind of want to get out of it. So with this inventory zone on the workspace right here, with this workspace, so you got 3 you got this internal range, with this one being your main workspace to like operate from. So this is the high. We had one above that high here. We had one above that high here. But the combination between these 2 highs is that there's no continuation to the upside. With this workspace, we have a double top. We couldn't even break the high. Even now, after New York open, we cannot break the damn high. So are the buyers really buying? Now, on the first 15 minutes of this New York open, right, we had created a gap. And I'm looking at this gap as, as a price range to see who owns this shit, who owns these prices, right? So from 649 to 636, who is more stronger? Buyers did come in, but are they gonna hold? So we had already went over the week. We understand that it was damn near trash. A couple of good days, like Monday being that very, very good day, Monday and Tuesday. You know, we had some good opportunity nonetheless. You know, it was some good opportunity in the market. The biggest key thing that I could take from this week is that every single day there's going to be an opportunity. Every single day there is an opportunity. You know, but are you gonna show up and are you gonna be there to catch those opportunities? You know, whether if it's gonna be the morning session, the London session, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to like time it, to like really time it. So today we're gonna show up during New York from around 9:45 to around 11, and we're gonna see what opportunity that the market gives us. So we had already went over the week. You know, we had broke down certain key factors, certain key levels from the previous day. So when we come back from break, we will go over certain key concepts around, the black dot, green dot sequence. And then, we'll see what opportunities came off of the black dot, green dot sequence, which you can find with my indicator. You can go to tradingview.com, go to the indicators tab and search Curated Currency Origin. And you will have these black dot, green dots come up. You will have some boxes show up. And that will just help you with price location, on where to enter, not on where to enter, what prices to pay attention to, So I'm gonna cut to break, and then when we come back, we can go ahead and go over all of that. With that being said, man, yeah, all glory be to God. If you're watching now, tell everybody pull up. You better make some bread, hopefully. Out the way. Bro, what are we even doing right now? The views are down. Trading, it feels freaking weird right now. People are overwhelmed. School starts soon. People depend on me. I'm trying to build like 10 different businesses at once, and none of this even freaking matters, dude. I know. What do you mean, You had this exact conversation before. After success, after a setback, after you help somebody, after you feel like you couldn't help enough. So what? It still feels real? It is real. Pressure is real, dude. Responsibility is real. Those people who need you, it's very real. You just treating emotions like permanent conclusions. So what I do, man? Nothing dramatic. You trade tomorrow. You go to school tomorrow. You call your people tomorrow. You create tomorrow. You take care of yourself tomorrow. Let tomorrow be tomorrow. Start redesigning your life, damn. Yeah, damn. Now go hit record. Yeah, man, you always got to put in work. Whatever it is you do, whatever encounter you go through, man, just keep on putting in the work. You don't know what's going to happen next week or the week after that or tomorrow. You don't know who you're going to meet. You know what I'm saying? So just don't give up. So the black dot, green dot, the black dot, green dot sequence will, like with my indicator, it's very intricate, right? How I set it up was based on volume, was based on current price action, current key concepts that I was trading for the past 4 years, and due to artificial intelligence, you could take all of your data, compile it, put it into something that you could use and that the world could use. So the black dot, green dot, it's price location. So we have a black dot right here, we have a green dot right here. So between that price, 650, so just say 660s, and around 560s, the buyer came in here, take out a whole bunch of lows, and someone bought right here. Someone came in with a whole bunch of volume and took out some highs right here. So 659 and this number 560s. What is the behavior at those prices? Right? What is going on at those prices? If not for nothing, what high did these buyers make? So in this case, the high that the buyers made is up here. So if we go above here again, this is going to tell you that within this whole damn range, which is a huge range, that the buyers are stronger than sellers. So there's no reason to sell if we get above this high right here. If we cannot get above this high, we may want to question the buyers coming into the market. We may want to question it. This whole game of trading is who is stronger at certain prices. And there's certain key things to keep in mind, like the trend and, things of that nature. But it is as simple as looking at a chart, looking at your black dot, green dots, and what is the behavior around the black dot, green dots. So to go into another example from the previous day, we have black dot, green dots coming in, right? Let me go ahead and take this off the chart. The volume profile, like this, the volume profile. I'm gonna keep that up on the chart. But the black dot, green dot, where's the buyers at? You feel what I'm saying? So even though that they did come in heavy, the buyers got absorbed quickly. So not every black dot, green dot is like a tall tale to buy. You have to look at the location. You know, black dot, green dot. We're towards the lows of this, and we broke that green dot high with a gap. And it's not a coincidence that breaking the green dot high with a gap, price comes up. Because the black dot, green dot is showing you or telling you that buyers are present within the market. So if you break that green dot high with a gap and you create a 2 candle support after that, I'm not telling you that it's 100% it's gonna go up, but I mean, damn. Black dot, green dot. Black dot, green dot comes in, we are at some lows, right? The black dot, green dot comes in right here, we're at some lows. But just looking at price action, could we take out that candle high? The answer is no. Black dot, green dot come in, like, did we take out candle highs? The answer is yes. So you have to really look at where you at. Black dot, green dot come in, did we take out any highs with this green dot? No. So we wait for more black dots to come in. That's chasing price at the bottom with momentum. Black dot come in, orange dot coming in, giving you potential. And then we have that green dot with a gap, and then price comes up. Black dot, green dot with a gap, 2 candle support, price comes up. So the black dot, green dot sequence on the chart with my indicator, right? Pull up my indicator, black dot, green dot with a gap, 2 candle support, price comes up. Black dot, green dot, no gap, and you see how that should work out. Black dot, green dot, gap, this is the little whoop wop, price comes down. So black dot, green dot come in. The second thing after the black dot, green dot is what high is being created. If you have a black dot, green dot and there's no ultimate high being created, it may not go to the upside because the buyers ain't buying. You see what I'm saying? So in today's market, it's at 10 o'clock. So we are going to look at the 10 o'clock candle. All right. Black dot, green dot coming in. This is the high. Can we take out the high? It's a huge candle, dog. Damn it. 80-point candle. But it did respect that gap, though. It did take out this gap too. It did respect that gap. The buyers respected that gap. The buyers are now above the 50% of the Fibonacci. So the buyers could be here. It took us 30 minutes to analyze the situation, but the buyers, they could be here, man. So go into the 1 minute. Since we went above that high, look at the 1 minute picture. The New York Open came to the downside, went immaculately into yesterday's point of control. We stayed above the indicator level, which is this black level, like around 550s, 29,550s. Black dot, green dot, we have a gap, and then as you can see, price comes up and we created a high. So the next step is that we need to have this high be broken, because if this high cannot be broken, then these buyers are like within this leg ain't shit. Within this little up leg on New York Open, right, we have some inventory zones. So black dot, green dot, we have a gap. This is your inventory zone right here. Coming up, this is your inventory zone right here. So as you can see, this is your main gap, New York Open, right? The reason why I'm saying that is because this was already a gap, and this is the price action above that gap where the buyers came in. But as you can see though, sellers is dominating. So black dot, green dot, where's that high at? There's no high. So what do we notice if there's no high after the black dot, green dot? And if this low gets taken out, so it's more so being patient. But with my indicator on your chart, you will be able to pick point to pick. Okay, Black dot, green dot, where is this location? Well, it's off of the point of control. We're at some lows. We did take out some highs. So what we could do with this black dot, green dot sequence, with this high being there, we could pull up the Fibonacci just for shits and giggles. Now, I wouldn't take this Fibonacci as serious because we are still working with the Fibonacci on the higher time frame, which is this Fibonacci right here. Right, this is your main Fibonacci, because this is your main leg. This is your main workspace from the 27th, from yesterday. And now we're working on that second leg, hopefully, you know. So can we get into actually, bro, you know what, we have to really pay attention to what we're doing right now, because the Fibonacci is on the 1 hour. I almost stirred y'all the wrong way. 15 minute. Yeah, it's on the 15 minute. No, I was right. don't be second guessing yourself. So this is that second workspace after this workspace has completed. So this is the workspace that's been completed, and then this is that leg that's above this workspace. All right, so now we are in this workspace, and now see how we coming down. That's crazy. So then we working with this Fibonacci right here, and we hit the golden zone already, but as you can see, we cannot get above the highs. We can't get above the highs. So this is that main Fibonacci right here from yesterday, right? And this main Fibonacci, we're above the 50. We came in, we couldn't really break that high right here. So this is that high right here. And it's crazy because that high is where this gap is at. And as you can see, we have wicked out heavy, which I can't make up. You know, that's crazy how these are the two gaps. And look at that big ass wick. And then look at the bodies. You can't make that type of shit up. You really can't make that type of shit up, truthfully speaking. So if this is a 10 o'clock candle, right, that's an ugly ass candle. There's that 1 minute gap. You have that 1 minute gap. We got 5 minute gap right here. Yeah, man, it looks like this upside push ain't gonna be it's not gonna be the push. So the point of control is the main area. Getting below the point of control will be key, and that's where we're going now, which is this is gonna get real crazy real quick, but we're gonna be patient. So with this Fibonacci, with this black dot, green dot, and that high that it gave us, we are now in that golden zone, right? And then this your point of control. It's insane that the golden zone 78 to the 88 and yesterday's point of control are at the same level. And with my indicator, you have a yellow level around there as well. So now we're going below the point of control. God damn it. How are we gonna do this, man? We have a potential wick range as well. So if I just extract this point of control, we have this candle coming down, closing below going below 2 candles. That second candle coming up and taking out some highs, but we couldn't take out that candle high. So from this potential range, which I will call a wick range, can buyers come in? And they did as of then, but as you can see, the sellers are overtaken. Now the first thing that I want to do is look at this risk. Is measured from below here to here, about 25 points. So we're gonna enter. I'm looking for this short because of the sell pressure coming in. And I'm gonna go ahead and look to place this short. But we're gonna be patient to see how this candle closes in 1 second. Boom. It's good that the buyers are coming in, but if they fold, then I might take the sell. I'm gonna take the sell here. So I'm in there at 573. Stops above the golden zone. And that's just gonna be that, bro. If it stops us out, then we have to get out. And it looks like we about to get stopped out. Music already stopped. Yeah, so yeah, we in that 573. And then the golden zone is gonna be where we gonna get stopped out at. So basically, we had already got stopped out. So that's the L right there, y'all. A good New York L. If price comes back, that's crazy, right? But there's your L for New York. Quick L, bro. Sometimes it just happens like that for a 250. A 250L. And we could look to re-enter, but it is what it is. And it's good that we got out there, because if it goes up, then it goes up. You know, and the premise for this short was we had that good push into the point of control. We closed below the point of control, and I wanted to get out, you know, once we got above the golden range. And we just wicked above it and came back down. It is what it is. If price comes back down, we'll see if we could break that low. And if we could break that low, we could look to re-enter. But that's your first stop for negative 250 on the day. And we're gonna just keep on continue watching this. You know, New York be New Yorking. As long as you have predefined stops and you understand how much risk you put in on the table. Before I entered the trade, I measured it out. I'm like, you know what, it's a good 25 points. You know, it is what it is. So 5 contracts, you know, mini NASDAQ, 250. You know, negative 250. This point of control is very key though, bro. Very, very key. That was crazy. I got stopped that right there though. We're gonna see how far this goes. Maybe to the extension. But this would be my only position. You know, if it don't work out, I mean, it didn't work out. And then we'll see what comes in. You know, I'm thinking that it could just flush, but if it don't, then it's not. Then we could look for some buys, but I mean, if it flushes, that'll be some shit, because we just got stopped out for it to just flush. One thing I'm working on too You know, like that stop right there, I mean, it was a good stop. But if I just take this off the chart, you know, the sellers, we have to really look at, because price action is moving. This is our, you know, wick range right here. And the buyers didn't really buy off of that. So we have to pay attention. And that's crazy, man. Like the market, I don't know what it is about New York session, but when New York pulls up, it's always volatile. I don't know what it is about New York session, but it's always volatile, bro. It's always volatile, man. It's a beautiful short though, man. That short was a beautiful short, man. So that short right there, I'm gonna go ahead and close that short. That was a beautiful trade right there. We got stopped out, but I left that bitch open. And I recorded it on this other thing, man. Hey, it is what it is, bro. Caught that bit. I might have went. I mean, if it would have went wrong, then it would have went wrong, but it didn't go wrong. So I had got into a short. You feel me? 573. I gave it some time. I got it at the first extension at 523. Caught 50 points. Bullshit. 523's up hit my ass. It was the first extension, but it is what it is. 509. But nonetheless, caught, you know, enough for $1,000 day. Not too crazy. A 1-on-1 risk reward though. If the stop was up here, I said above the golden range, we gotta stop the fuck out on here. But I kept it open because I had a second candle came in. If we would have broke that candle high, I probably would have got out for like, you know, 500. But got out after after testing that first extension. I had got out, and I pull up the screenshot. I post a screenshot up on you know, Facebook. You know. It just be shit like that, but that's the point, or that's a trade that we caught, you know, a good 1-on-1. Yeah, man, 43 points, you feel me? 50 points, man, good 1-on-1 little thing. That's all you need on NASDAQ for some shit to like, from shit like that to work out, and it's based on these sellers not selling. I mean, this buyers not buying where they were supposed to be buying at, truthfully speaking, man. You know, triple top, all kind of different shit. So that's the trade right there. You know, you didn't see the actual, you know, execution on here. You see me put it on here, and I got stopped out. But I didn't place a stop, thank God. Well, not thank God. 25 to 50, 75. You know, that's like my regular. I mean, this is like my and this is for advance. You know, the shit that people pay for. But there's 3 different tiers though of stop losses, depending on what it is that you're going for. But with 75 points, which is 3R being the max risk. So you got, you know, daily risk reward 500, half of that, you know, 250, max being 750 a day, 3R type of situation. So even though we were in drawdown for a little bit, you know, 75 points is my max drawdown limit. 50 points, you know, as you can see, we didn't even reach that point. And, you know, once we get to 50 to 75, I start to second guess myself. But if you stay within the 25 to 50 range, I might let it play out. 75 point range, I might but it's more so price location based on the black dot, green dot, the workspaces, price action in general, you know, the inventory zones right here getting taken out by sellers, So inventory zone right here, seller, the seller come through heavy. We go into the point of control. We have, you know, a couple price action candles showing us where it was trying to go, in my opinion. You have a wick right here, a down candle. So I'm in there after that down candle, after that wick up. Because the down candle is telling you that these buyers ain't shit. Even though the buyers did come in, you see how the sellers came in. It is what it is, but it's crazy though, because of the simple fact that the buyers just come in off of that first extension immaculately to come back up into that golden area. So, you know, who knows what's gonna happen, right? So now we back in that golden area, and that uptrend still looking nice, you know, because if we just zoom out, go to like the 15 minute, go to the 15 minute, we have went into that range from this workspace. So do you see how these workspaces are being utilized? And the information within these workspaces, they could hold up for a couple of days. As you can see, like, this reacted off of this workspace immaculately, dog. I'm talking immaculately. Now, oh, it bounced off the moving average. The moving average is a lagging indicator. This is price action. This is a low in the market where the buyers came in heavy. And it's not, and it's like, why is it that, you know, the question that I'd be asking myself is from here to here. So, you know, a day and 7 hours later, people in the market still see 540 valuable, 29,540 valuable. Buyer, like, market went from 536 all the way to 609, 610, and within 5 minutes. That's a crazy push up. You know, that's a crazy push up. But thank God we took that dub though. Thank God we closed that. Thank God we closed that trade though. When we closed that trade, man. But that's just intuition. You know, that's really just that comes with experience. You know, so we came off the inventory zone. We are now above the point of control. The thing is about this though. All right, so this is the trade that we placed, and it worked out for Iraqi. But black dot, green dot coming in, and now we have that gap. Right, now we have a gap. And what did we say about the two momentum or the two support thing? Price may come up. So this could be that move up. Now I could place a buy here, stops below the low, but I don't want to give back my trade. So I want to see if we can get into these highs, and if we could, I would look to reevaluate. But this was the play off of the point of control. The sellers coming in heavy, taking out inventory zones, disrespecting the black dot, green dot leg, coming down heavy into those lows, going into this wick range and not being able to break key highs or highs up in here. So I'm taking the sellers with stops above, you know, certain areas. If not for nothing, you know, stops, you know, this is all my stop area, you feel me, to see price go up. My extreme stop will be above the yellow level, above these areas in here where this gap is at. You want to have things, you know, protect you. So, you know, even though that the stop wasn't as predefined as I wanted it to go, I know exactly what I'm looking for. So when the second candle came in, the second candle came in because I entered on this candle. The second candle came in, the third candle came in, I felt a little bit better. You know, if you broke that candle high, I probably would have got out. More than likely, I would have got out for a loss. But with the analysis that we had, it worked out. As you can see, the bars are coming in because this would be an opportunity, you know, to the upside. But if we go to the higher time frame, you know, I placed this trade at the lower end of this, you know, quote unquote range, coming out of the range. You see what I'm saying? The point of control is right here. This is where I entered the trade, coming out of the range now to come to lower. As you can see, we're going back up into the range, which isn't a good thing. We're going back into the range, bro. So do I want to trade at the lower end of this range, or do I want to trade once we get outside of the range? And the other reason why I took the sell too is because now we're outside of that range with looking. Now I was hoping for a continuation to the downside, but as you can see though, we went back into the range. So even though that today's a crazy ass looking market, we were still able to pull out Iraqi out the market, bro. Insane shit. Truthfully speaking, man, insane shit. 1 minute gap. So that buy off of this candle high off the 50, that would have been a good buy, bro. I just didn't really want to risk what I just fucking put up. Another thing too, you know, like after I place a trade, I give myself like 15-20 minutes, truthfully speaking, just to reevaluate, just to see what comes in. I don't like to just get in back to back like that. It's crazy too, black that green, that we had that gap, and in that gap area it gave us some key plays, right? It gave us some key plays, and it's crazy because that's where that low is at. If we get down below, can we come down still? It just more so, it just things like that, you know. But the black dot green dot set that up. Black dot green dot, we have a gap in the market. The highs aren't, you know, there's the high that it created, but you know, could we get above that high? Black dot green dot, we couldn't make no other high. You know, price comes down, black dot green dot, create a gap, come up, create a high, and that's what we're working with. And as you can see, we hit that Fibonacci level immaculately. We had hit this 1 minute gap immaculately, the 50% of that gap immaculately. Now we're coming down. So more so, can the buyers come in, take out this gap, and come to the upside? If not, then we could probably sell again at this point of control area. For it to come down to the downside, we could probably cash this level or cash this move twice. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you go into this gap, that'll be what's up, to see if buyers could pop off. Golden zone right here, but that Fibonacci is dead though. That Fibonacci was based off of this low to that high, and as you can see, we have went below that low. But as you can see though, we have a black dot green dot, and then we have another high right here. So do we want to take that? I don't want to take that because we didn't take no highs. So if I go to the high time frame, like the 15 minute, it's a ranging market. So patience. So the market changes from second to second, moment to moment, and that's just that. It's crazy though, because the whoop wop area from yesterday, even though it's been damn near, well, it hasn't been invalidated because we couldn't break this high. There wasn't no leg to come out. There's no legs coming out. So if you go below the whoop wop area again, it could sell off. So the reason why this trading thing is important, in my opinion, the reason why I feel like this trading thing is important is because of the simple fact that you could sit here and you could analyze price action. You could analyze price. I'm here by myself. I'm not on no Discord. I'm not watching what nobody's doing. I have no signal services or nothing. Knowledge, dedication to the damn craft, and showing up every single day and doing this shit every single day between a specific time period from 9:30 to 11. You know, if not 9:30 to 11, from 1 to 3. You know, if I miss the 1 to 3, I might trade from 3 to 3:45. You know, so we had to take that into into an account. I just made $1,000 on a Friday within a couple minutes. So I don't know, me personally, and people be like, oh, well, it's fake money, it's fake. All right, whatever, it's fake, whatever. But what other industry can you go into, look at the industry, look around you, and then make a decision to make a racky in less than 15 minutes? What other industry can you do that at? Yeah, you could lose, but over a month, over 60 days, over 90 days, what do those numbers look like? So if you have a business, you understand that you don't know how many customers that you are going to get that day. But I understand that NASDAQ is going to move more than 50 points a day though. every single day, I know that NASDAQ will move more than 50 points a day. But you do not know how many customers is going to come into your shop that day. You do not know that. You may have some good service. You may have some bad service. Who knows? We don't know. So I would rather go with the money market. And not to down talk not nobody. But I would rather go and put my time into the money market and try to go out into the world and intrigue people that I'm worth value. That's my downfall. You know? Because I don't want to, you know, I got this product, I got that product, I got this. Buy it from me, y'all. I don't want to intrigue people, man. On this chart, I don't got to intrigue not nobody. I ain't got to talk a certain way, present myself a certain way. I go into this damn market, come up with ideas, and execute and deal with my damn self on this chart. So while people are working a job, which I do work a job, I do have a 9 to 5, and I give to the community. And that business is a mom and pop that is moving. It has more than 50 locations. Started off with small locations, and then it branched out to more than 50 locations. So I'm not working for a corporation or like one of them big guys. I'm working for still, you know, and I'm giving back to the community. So don't be the people that the people that you see that are successful, that got a lot of shit. They got teams behind them. They got people behind them. Not to say that that's a bad thing, but you have to understand that infrastructure, a lot of these people aren't going to work with you if you challenge them. They got their information from a mentor. They got their information from such and such that they look up to. So when you as a little guy comes into the to the system, and you as a little guy start to talk your shit, they're not gonna take you seriously because they're looking up at that dude that they're looking up to. So they're gonna look at you and be like, bro, what is you talking about? Why, yo, I could come on this chart and catch $1,000 play. This week I made over X amount. That's more than my W2. That's more than what I make driving and Lyft. That's more than what I ever made in a month ever. I've never made $6,000 in a month doing anything. But you guys will want to see the numbers for you to take it seriously. So I don't like dealing with humans because you have to intrigue them. And then when people want to, like, you know, say that you're doing it wrong or you're doing it like this that shouldn't be done, come trade with me for a day. And they'll be like, oh, well, trading isn't everything. But so then trading isn't everything. Making money isn't everything. But building a product and trying to sell that product to people is everything. How does that make sense? So building a product and try to sell it to people is everything. But sitting here at the chart and looking at the NASDAQ, which is the top 100 US stocks, which has products that people buy, I'm studying that data and I'm doing it wrong. How does that make sense? How does Wall Street operate? How does S&B Capital operate? So it's very imperative, right, when you come into this trading thing, to really just, you like, tell the world about it. Have them misunderstand you. You don't need the Bugatti to fucking trade. You know, you don't need to have jewelry and cars and 10,000 houses or a house or anything, bro. You as can make $5 a day and be happy. Make $50 a day off of $200 and be happy. Put $200 into an account and make $10 off of that account and be happy. Because you are building a skill. You're building emotional intelligence that a lot of these successful people don't have. You challenge these successful ass people, they gonna just fucking just talk shit because they got more capital. But they got more capital because, for one, they got a whole team behind them that they're just handing off scripts and shit. They're handing off strategies and shit, which it works. But with this broadcast and with this thing that I'm and this is me, probably I need to humble myself, but this is all me, dog, and I love that. You know, I love that shit for myself. And I don't understand people sometimes. So I just encourage you guys, whatever it is that you do, however it is that you do it, just put God first. You know, and there's niches that you could just be independent. But if you want to work with people and copy people and copy somebody, then go copy somebody. But your image and your everything that you are about is not self-made. Now people are, oh well, I still have to put in the work. I still have to go out there and do that. Yeah, you're right. But you are being a puppet, literally a puppet for somebody else, because they're giving you the dirt. They're telling you how to move, telling you how to act, telling you how to post, telling you what to do, telling you how to do everything. And you just follow instructions, and those instructions from that guy is gonna give you success. But then that person that is being the puppeteer, they gotta put on the suit, they gotta put on this, they gotta show numbers, they gotta show community. You know, I helped out about 7 to 8 people with this trading shit in the past like 2 or 3 weeks. One person got funded. Another person right now is doing very, very good on the second week. I got 2 other people, really. They are about to get an account. But one person already got funded. 2 people are very, very close. The other 3, they are about to get an account with FTMO. The other one, brand new, I think it was 2 days ago on Tuesday, today's Friday, hit me up and they going over the PDF that I sent them. I don't care who knows that. There's so much to go around, it's crazy, you know? So it's either get a job and go to work and you know how much money you're making, or you could build products and you can get a product and you could just, you know, give it to the people and intrigue people. But I'll be damned though. If I'm not that person, bro. I'm sorry. I tried to be, but I can't be, bro. Maybe one day, man, but I don't know, bro. This right here, it fits my personality, man. Coming up with, you know, products, or you're selling a service, you know, you gotta pitch it to people. You got time for that shit, bro. Let me tell you a story. So I went to the food truck, to this one food truck, right? Now this food truck, it was privately owned, right? Mom and pop food truck. I asked him, I said, hey man, today, cause he was wrapping up, it was kind of late, you know. I'm like, bro, how much you make today? He said $1,500 profit. How long was you out here, bro? He said, I was out here for 10 hours. He made $1,500 profit. I said, hey bro, how much times you come out here? He said, I come out here Fridays and Saturdays. I said, how much you make on the weekend? He said, like around $2,000 or $3,000. I said, well, how much of that is actual profit? He said, like around $1,300. So for that one weekend profit, he's making $1,300. So you go through all of that shit, the licensing, the food, the product, the stock, the sales, the employee that he had, all of that shit for $1,500. I made $1,000 right now in less than 10 minutes. Inside, not setting up, not nothing. I don't understand it. You know? I don't understand that shit, bro. Truthfully speaking, I don't get it, bro. I don't get economy, bro. I don't. I think trading messed me up. Not gonna lie to you. Because you know, but coming up with a product and all of that is cool, man, for some people, but it's just not for me. I'm sorry I had to go on that little rant, little rant. But we're gonna go to break real quick, come back, and we're gonna do a cool little recap. and then that'll be the time right there, man. NASDAQ is going into these highs, so when we come back, we'll see if we can get into them highs, man. 0010110 10. They see the screenshot, they don't see the structure behind it. Late nights, early mornings, put my mind in alignment. Used to chase every candle, now I wait on confirmation. Funny how patience became the source of my creation. I ain't trying to look rich, trying to build something stable. Same black tea and same seat at the table. Everybody wanna pay out, nobody loves the process. Everybody love the outcome, nobody loves the progress. I was down in the count, I showed up and took attendance. I had to learn, conviction, independence. The market's not the enemy, it's showing me reflection. Loss of tuition, payment, or win a new direction. Miles in the whip, I still got goals on the board. I still got dreams for my children and still got faith in the Lord. So if they ask me what I'm building, tell them discipline first, because the man I'm gonna become can be worth more than the word. The hardest part about long-term thinking is that it feels like nothing is happening. You show up, you follow the system, you do the work, and from the outside, it almost looks pointless. No big breakthroughs, no dramatic moment, it's just repetition. Long-term thinking always looks slow right before it starts working. And if you've been following this series, this is the stage where most people start doubting the system that they're building. Think about trading for a second. When someone builds real discipline in the market, the first thing that changes is not the money, it's the behavior. They stop forcing trades. They start waiting for structure. They become comfortable not participating when nothing is there. And for a while, that actually feels worse because the emotional highs disappear before the financial results show up. But that quiet phase is exactly where the system is forming. The same thing applies to anything that you're building: content, business, fitness, discipline. In the early stages, you are not seeing the outcome yet, but you are building that capacity that will produce the outcome later. And capacity always grows before results show up. That's why long-term thinking, it does feel slow. You are measuring the wrong thing. Instead of measuring results, measure alignment. Did you follow the system today? Because if the system is right, time will eventually reveal it. And here's something that you could test today. Instead of asking yourself, did I get the result that I wanted? Ask a better question. Did I follow structure that I committed to? And if the answer is yes, you are already ahead of where you were yesterday. Because long-term thinking is not about winning today. It's about becoming a type of person whose systems win over time. Same system, different day. This is Curated Currency. And that's what I was saying too, man. Just over time, over time. What are your numbers going to look like over time? Not tomorrow, not next week, 60 to 90 days from now. What are your numbers going to look like? To end off the show, let's go into why we took this sell position. And that's gonna be my morning for today. Them buys off the inventory zone, the buys off of this point of control. That was a good entry to take. But we are still within that New York range. The reason why I got into this sell is because we are outside of the New York range. We are below the point of control. We had took out an inventory zone within this New York opening. The buyers that came in for this fair value gap or this gap, as you can see, they couldn't break the highs with the sellers overtaking those buyers. We had that candle close below the inventory zone. We had a candle wick right here. A candle wick come down with buyers, but then that second candle showing that the sellers are stronger than buyers at that point in time. We did go into the wick range where buyers did come in, but they couldn't take out no highs before it went into that extension on this upper leg. So the extension from here, so the Fibonacci from here to here, that first extension to the opposite side was like around here. I took the profit at that first extension, but as you can see, it triggered me right here at this inventory zone. So if not for nothing, from the point of control to the inventory zone, I caught that whole area, and as you can see, prices coming up as of now. But that was just the gist behind it, and yesterday's price action was a good little, tall tale too, because we have the woo wop, and that woo wop, let me ask you a question: are we below that woo wop? So a lot of these things put together, you know, is what feeds my entry work. And that's that. So every single day there's gonna be opportunity. Whatever it is that you do that shit. Right? Intellectual property, I think, will always be key. IP, right? This show right here is personal IP. Let me go into OBS. And let's see how this thing is moving right here. Let's fix that real quick. But yeah. So today was a good day. Nonetheless, as you can see, we are coming into these highs right here. Could we break the highs, man? Another thing too, man, is that I do not want to be on these charts all day, which is why it's 9:32:11. But since we caught that short, based on everything that we said, that's kind of just that for me today. There could have been a buy entry at 708 or at 705, but I already caught what I needed, or I already placed the trade that I placed today. So we're gonna just leave it at that, man. You know, it was a good week. All glory be to God. Ain't none of this possible without the man up above. And whatever it is that you do, just please just put God first, man. But that's price action. I do see price coming up to the top of this range, man. But trading within the range, trading, you know, within this consolidation, I would be very cautious, you know, playing with these levels. But if NASDAQ comes up and does what it does, I mean, you can't stop the market from doing what the market does, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I love this shit too much. I don't want to go, but you know, I ain't trying to just fill time out this bitch. So love y'all. That was a shirt, and just run this shit up, man. Whatever it is that you do, run this shit up, and you could be independent. You could be you could. Now, I am working with people. There's people that I am working with, but it's on other shit. You know, not my shit per se. This is my shit, but like collective community shit. And this is me doing my part. You know, we are all doing our own part. But you know, doing your own part with other people and posting it on Facebook, I don't know if that's a good look. But yeah, man, I'm gonna get up out of here. All glory be to God. Y'all run that bitch up, man. Love y'all. Everybody wants a breakthrough, but no one talks about accumulation. A tree doesn't become a tree, it collects rings. A city doesn't become a skyline, it collects buildings. A reputation don't just appear, it collects decisions. Everything valuable collects. We celebrate the shot that goes in, but ignore the thousands that taught the hand where to finish. That's backwards. Because the make was never the moment. The make was the receipt. The work had already happened. That's why I don't count days no more. I collect evidence. Evidence that I showed up, that I practiced, that I stayed curious. Evidence that I kept my word to myself, because eventually evidence becomes identity, and identity starts to make those decisions for you. You stop asking, can I do it? Because you've collected too much evidence to think otherwise. So today, don't chase the result. Collect another receipt, one more rep, one more conversation, one more promise. Because tomorrow, you won't remember today's score, but you will become the person today's choices were building. Same system, different day. This is Curated Currency.